To the explainer. Today, we've got a wild story for you, one where the worlds of justice, crime, and online gaming collide in a way that, honestly, you just won't see coming. So let me ask you, could a video game save you from a prison sentence? I mean, it sounds like a hypothetical, right? Something you might kick around with your friends. But for one streamer, this wasn't just a debate. It became his terrifying reality. All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about the case of a streamer, Alex Moore, who goes by Lex online. And his passion for gaming, well, it unexpectedly became the only thing standing between him and a very serious criminal charge. So picture this, it's 2020. Somewhere nearby, police are investigating a robbery. At that exact same time, Lex Moore is just doing his thing. He's live on Twitch, in the zone, playing a game, chatting with his audience. He has absolutely no idea his whole world is about to get turned upside down. It wasn't until after he ended his stream that, bam, he finds out he's a suspect.
So, how in the world did he prove he was innocent? Well, it wasn't with a phone call or a receipt. His alibi was his Twitch stream. The proof was literally baked right in. You've got this perfect, undeniable timestamp showing when he was live. You've got the chat logs with people talking to him in real time, and you can even see his own reactions on screen. The whole thing was just out there in public for everyone to see.
Alexa's story, as crazy as it is, isn't just some weird one-off thing. It's actually a perfect gateway into this huge, growing legal idea, the digital alibi. It's this powerful reminder that everything we do online leaves a footprint, and those footprints can have major, real-world consequences.
So, what is a digital alibi really? Well, put simply, it's any bit of digital info that can show where you were or what you were doing at a certain time. And believe me, this is totally changing the game for how lawyers and investigators look at evidence.
Yeah, and it goes way beyond just streaming games. Just think about your own day for a second. The GPS on your phone is tracking you. You post on social media. Boom, timestamp. You grab a rideshare. There's a record. We are all leaving this constant trail of digital breadcrumbs that could, theoretically, prove where we are at any given moment. Okay, so this is where we get to the really thorny part, the big debate. The legal system, it's like it's running on old software. Its rules for evidence were written way before any of this tech existed. So now it's in this frantic race just to keep up. And that leads us to the million-dollar question, right? Is a live stream actually ironclad proof? Can you take that into a court of law and say, case closed? I mean, how reliable is this stuff really? This is where it gets super tricky. On the one hand, the argument for it is strong. You've got a timestamped video record, backed up by tons of independent viewers in real time. It feels legit. But then, the argument against it. We live in the age of deepfakes and digital manipulation. How can you be 100% sure it's real? And unlike a piece of physical evidence, there's no formal chain of custody. It's a real legal headache. But we also have to talk about the human side of this. Because even when the digital alibi works, even when you're cleared, the story doesn't just end there. For the person who was accused, a lot of the damage is already done. Think about it. For someone like Lex Moore, whose whole career is built on their public image, being publicly accused of a crime, that leaves a mark. Even when you're proven innocent, it's a permanent scar on your reputation, not to mention what it does to you mentally. And that's the brutal truth, isn't it? The internet never, ever forgets. You've got the public scrutiny, the judgment from people who don't know you. That stuff sticks around long after the case is closed. The stress of trying to clear your name in the court of public opinion can be absolutely crushing.
So let's zoom out for a second. This one case, this one streamer, it really forces us to look at the bigger picture. What does all this technology mean for the future of justice itself? The implications are, well, they're massive.
Because this whole thing is a total double-edged sword. A live stream saved Lex Moore, right? But that exact same kind of video evidence from your doorbell camera, from social media, from police body cams is being used every single day to put people in jail. The very same technology that can free us can just as easily trap us. And that leaves us with one last, kind of heavy thought to chew on. In a world where more and more of our lives are recorded, documented, and streamed, you have to ask, who's really watching? And what are they going to do with all that data, with our digital footprints? It's this huge question about surveillance, privacy, and proof that honestly, we're all going to have to deal with sooner or later.
You know, every time you post or stream or even just walk around with your phone, you're leaving something behind. It's like a digital ghost, a trail of evidence of your life. Most of the time, who cares, right? But what happens when that ghost gets called to the stand? Today, we're diving into two sides of that very question. Okay, so look at this. This really gets to the core of it, doesn't it? You've got the exact same technology, a video stream, but it's playing two totally different roles. On one side, it's the perfect alibi. It's undeniable proof that saves someone. But on the other, it's the perfect lie, a weapon that can absolutely wreck a person's life in minutes. This is the heart of what we're exploring. When is what we see online solid proof, and when is it just poison?
All right, so let's kick things off with the good news. We're going to start with a story that shows the incredible power of this digital trail to actually deliver justice, creating what you might call a perfect digital alibi.
So picture this. You're just hanging out doing what you love, in this case, streaming a video game to your community. But somewhere nearby a serious crime goes down, and suddenly all eyes are on you. You're the prime suspect. I mean, this is exactly what happened to a streamer, Alex Lex Moore. His freedom was literally on the line. The one thing he had on his side, an alibi that thousands of people were watching live. And this is how it all unfolded. He gets accused, and his first move is, hey, check my Twitch stream. But, and this is the really important part, the investigators didn't just watch the video, they dug deeper. They looked at the server timestamps that can't be faked. They read through the live chat logs, seeing real people reacting to his gameplay in real time. It was all this layered, verifiable data that made his story airtight. He couldn't have been in two places at once. His digital ghost was his unbreakable alibi. So what Alex had is what we now call a digital alibi. It's this super modern form of proof, right? Using all those little electronic breadcrumbs we leave everywhere to prove where we were, or maybe more importantly, where we weren't. It's precise, it's powerful, and it's becoming a bigger deal every day. But what happens when that same kind of evidence gets twisted? For every story like Alex's, there's a much darker flip side. So now, let's look at the stream that lied. A situation where seeing is absolutely not believing. What happens when that digital ghost isn't telling the truth, but is actually a carefully crafted lie? And this is how a digital nightmare starts. Some short, totally out-of-context clip pops up on TikTok. It looks bad, it seems to show a man doing something terrible, and you know how the internet works. It doesn't wait for facts. Within hours, millions of people have already decided he's guilty. This is basically the playbook for destroying someone online, and it's terrifyingly simple. It starts with a sneaky edit, just a crop here, a cut there, then it gets packaged with a lie, a caption designed to make you angry. After that, the algorithm does the heavy lifting, pushing it out to millions of people who share it without thinking. And by the time the full video comes out, the one that shows what really happened, it's too late. The lie is already out there and the damage is done. So you see the problem, right? We have this technology that can be both the ultimate truth teller and the ultimate liar. How on earth is our legal system, which is built on having solid, verifiable evidence, supposed to even begin to deal with that? It's a massive gray area.
This table here lays it out perfectly. The strengths are pretty clear. You get precise data, you get it in real time, and you can even have a live audience to back it up, just like in Alex's case. But the weaknesses? They are scary. Clips can be edited so easily. And then there's the big one, deepfakes. We can now create entire realities out of thin air. The scariest part is that our ability to make convincing fakes is growing way faster than our ability to spot them.
Okay, so we've talked tech, we've talked law, but let's not forget, there are actual human beings at the center of all this. The consequences of these digital storms go way beyond just some pixels on a screen or a verdict in a courtroom.
I mean, think about it. For someone like Alex, who is proven innocent, that cloud of suspicion can kind of hang around. For the man in the fake TikTok, his name might be cleared, but his reputation could be scarred for good. And for the rest of us, it just makes us trust everything we see online a little bit less. It creates this constant fear, especially for creators, that any little thing they say could be chopped up and used against them.
So where does all this leave us? We're trying to figure out what truth even means in this new digital world. We've got this incredible technology that can prove innocence beyond a shadow of a doubt, but can also manufacture guilt out of nothing. And really, that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. This tech isn't going away. The line between what's real and what's fake is just going to get blurrier. So the responsibility kind of shifts over to us, doesn't it? Are we going to be the ones to ask for context, to wait for proof? Or are we just going to believe the first thing that makes us angry or excited?
The future of truth, both online and off, really might depend on what we decide.